Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is still rejecting from this major resistance, while the price is still forming a bullish divergence in the short term, while more liquidations are getting taken out on this chart as long positions are currently getting squeezed in the market. And there's only one day to go until the US election, which could cause some major volatility, while Ethereum is currently breaking below this important line of support, and Solana is possibly forming a new bullish divergence in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and so much more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and over the last 1 day, nothing's really changed here on this chart on the larger time frames. So getting straight into the 2-day time frame, and the same can be said about this chart as well, because for now the price of Bitcoin is still holding above this important line on the chart, which is sitting at roughly around $65,000. So for as long as we're holding above that level, and of course forming higher lows and higher highs, technically speaking, this is bullish price structure here on these larger time frames. But obviously in the short term, on smaller time frames, we are currently seeing a pullback in the short term, but that does not necessarily change the larger price structure if we're remaining within higher lows and higher highs and remaining above this line. So as always, it's important to understand the difference between the different time frames. But with that being said, taking a look at the daily chart, and right now the price is still playing out that rejection from this critical area of resistance that I've already been warning about for a long time now on the channel, in between around 72,000 to 74,000, still acting as strong resistance. And that's really the final area of resistance before new all-time highs. So essentially, once we can break out above around 74,000, we would be looking extremely bullish, entering into new all-time highs if we can simply just break out above that resistance. But for now, that is still a major obstacle for the price of Bitcoin. And in fact, right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is currently coming back down and retesting this area of support, sitting in between around 66.7k to 68.3k. So at least for now, as of recording this video, once again, we're currently finding support in that region. But if we break back below this area of support, in that case, the next short-term support would be sitting at close to around 64,500, and below that we could find a small amount of support at 63,000, and also down towards around 60 to 61,000. But for now, once again, we're still looking at this area in between around 67 to 68, give or take. But as of right now, we're also playing out that short-term cool-off from overbought territories in the daily Bitcoin RSI, which is another reason as to why we're seeing a bit of a pullback, a bit of a cool-off here in the short term over basically this week. But if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously on the 1-hour time frame, as I talked about in my last video, right around here, we confirmed basically a very small bullish divergence that played out in pretty much less than a day here in the form of a very, very slight bullish relief, but mostly choppy sideways price action. And then just recently, we have seen another move to the downside, but this latest move to the downside, again, at least as of recording this video, has created a new lower low in the price of Bitcoin in the candle closes, while the RSI, at least as of right now, is currently forming higher lows. But for now, this is not yet confirmed. We still need to confirm at least a couple of green candle closes here in the price in order to confirm the higher low in place in the RSI, because by default, the RSI goes off candle closes. And so once again, we still need to see some more confirmation here to actually confirm this possible new bullish divergence on the 2-hour Bitcoin chart. But if we do end up seeing those confirmation signals confirming the higher low in place in the RSI by seeing more of a bounce in the RSI like that, then in that case, we'll likely see either some choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish relief, which are the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. But we also have to remember that in roughly around a day from now, we have the US election, which will likely cause a lot of volatility, at least in the short term, across most financial markets, across crypto, stocks, for example. And so I'll be talking about that in just a moment. But first, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out the links down below this video, because personally, I trade most of my crypto over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit, but that's only if you use the link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitnex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitnex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex down below this video, and if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus, and only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever, but that is only if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account. So as another option out there other than Bybit, once again, there's Bitfinex links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and just recently we have actually wiped out some long positions here, taken out some downside liquidity that was sitting in between around 68,000 to 68.7k approximately. So right now that liquidity has been taken out, and we still have some more liquidity to the downside just here in between around 67,000 to 67.7k. And so honestly, I would not be surprised if the price actually continues a little bit lower just to take out that liquidity, considering how close it is to the current price of Bitcoin. And obviously, we've just recently taken out some downside liquidity. So usually when we start taking out these major areas of liquidity, usually, not always, but usually the price likes to basically complete that move and take out all of that area of liquidity as the most likely scenario. So potentially expect a bit of a drop in the short term before possibly forming this bullish divergence and confirming the bullish divergence later on. But for now, once again, we could take out that liquidity, but we still have liquidity to the upside in between around 73,000 to 74,000 approximately. But obviously, as of right now, that's still a decent way away from where the price of Bitcoin is sitting at right now. So it's more likely that we'll see a bit of a drop first before seeing another bullish move at some point later on. And if we're taking a look at the US election, obviously this is coming up in around a day from now, and I'm talking about it because it will likely have a big impact, at least in the short term, on the crypto market. We'll likely see a lot of volatility over the next 1 to 2 days approximately, so just be aware of that. I'll stay away from very high leverage just over the next couple of days because we'll likely see some relatively large swings in the market. And at least as of right now, at the time of recording this video, based on the betting markets where people are actually putting their money on the line, currently Trump is showing a slight lead over Harris. So obviously we still have to wait and see who's actually going to win. But essentially the consensus across most of the crypto market out there is that Trump would be bullish and Harris would be bearish. And that's simply due to the fact that Trump obviously has spoken at a Bitcoin conference, and under the current administration, obviously Gary Gensler is head of the SEC and has been basically putting a lot of regulations on crypto. But with that being said, we just have to wait and see of the outcome of this election, and ultimately we will likely see volatility either way over the next 1 or 2 days, so just be aware of that. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now the price of ETH is still trading in this massive sideways price range in between this area of support and this level of resistance. First of all, this area of support is still sitting in between 2150 to 2.2k, and this level of resistance is still sitting at around 2.8k. And if we're taking a look at the 12-hour time frame, right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is currently attempting a break to the downside below this ascending line of support, which is sitting at approximately 2470 to 2480. So if we actually further confirm this break to the downside by seeing candle closes, for example, below that level, obviously in the short term, this is a bearish signal that we have to watch out for. And also if we further confirm a break below this area of support in between around 2440 to 2480 approximately, if we see candle closes below 2440, that would obviously be another bearish signal, which I talked about in my last couple of videos here on the channel. And like I said in my last few videos, if we see that confirmation, so candle closes below this support, in that case we'll likely see a move down towards the next major area of support, which is starting at just above around 2.3k. And as for resistance, we could now find a bit of resistance at this previous line of support, now acting as new resistance here, which is sitting at roughly around 2480, give or take. And above that area, we also have this area of resistance in between 2550 to 2580, and this massive area of resistance here in between 2.7k to 2.8k. So that is still the significant resistance to pay attention to, where we've obviously seen many rejections. But if we're zooming further into the short term, we can now actually see the price of ETH is possibly forming a new bullish divergence. Now, obviously, as of recording this video, this has not been confirmed because we haven't confirmed any green candle closes here in the price to cement the higher low in place. But for now, on the 2-hour time frame, the price is forming lower lows while the RSI is possibly forming higher lows, but this still needs to be confirmed. Kind of like the bullish divergence for Bitcoin, it's possibly forming, but still needs to be confirmed. And essentially, this would be an extension of the previous bullish divergence because obviously, as I mentioned in my last video, we did actually confirm a bullish divergence right here between these two lows, as we can see here in the price and the RSI. But since then, we have broken below this low in the price and in the RSI here, which is invalidating this previous bullish divergence. So right now, we have no active bullish divergence on this chart right here, but a potential bullish divergence that is still forming, but still needs to be confirmed. And like I said earlier, for Bitcoin, we need to understand that the US election's coming up in around a day from now. So there's likely going to be a decent amount of volatility over the next couple of days or so, and a decent amount of uncertainty in the market, which could possibly cause a bit of bearish price action until the results are basically clear. But with that being said, taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, and right now the price of Solana is running into this critical area of support, at least as I'm recording this video, which is sitting in between 159 to 163, and it is crucial for the bulls to hold above this area and basically not see a daily candle close below 159, because if we start seeing daily candle closes below 159, that would be very bearish here, potentially for the next few days or weeks, because ultimately if we break below this area of support with candle closes below this area, that would be a breakdown of the larger bullish price structure. Obviously, that would be bearish price structure anytime where we break below a critical area on the price chart, and that would also invalidate this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern. So once again, this would be invalidated if we see a break below this area. So that's why I'm saying it is crucial for the bulls to hold above this area and not see any daily candle closes below 159 in order to potentially remain bullish here on the larger price structure, the larger time frames. But obviously during this larger bullish price structure, we can see short-term pullbacks along the way. For as long as we're not breaking that bullish price structure, technically we can remain within the larger bullish trend if we see a bounce very soon at this support. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, right now the price of Solana just in the short term is possibly forming, not confirmed, but possibly forming a new bullish divergence. So very similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have lower lows in the price and higher lows possibly forming in the RSI, which is a bullish divergence. But like I said earlier, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, this also still needs to be confirmed for Solana. So it's possibly forming, but not confirmed, not currently active. And as for support, we're currently trading right around this area of support in between around 162 to 164. But if we see another move to the downside here, in that case, we have this area of support in between 157 to 159. And obviously this area of support as well in between 159 to 163, which is the major area of support. So if we break below 159, honestly expect to move potentially down towards 150 fairly quick. And below that, we also have this major area of support here in between 137 to 142. And like I said, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, expect some volatility, some uncertainty in the market over the next 1 or 2 days here around that US election. But once the results are basically clear, then we could see a little bit more certainty and possibly a bounce after first seeing some volatility here in the short term over the next 1 or 2 days. But with that being said, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, once again, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.